So Linda and I were in Central Asia helping train students who are going to be starting churches with unreached peoples. There was such an enormous need in Central Asia for training. Very few people are willing to go there and train. And there are people who are willing to take the gospel to unreached peoples of Asia who've never had the opportunity to hear. I had the wonderful experience of being invited by the directors there to teach in another school, which is a discipleship training school. And I was glad to do that. At the last minute, I felt that the Lord wanted me to talk about being set free from a root of bitterness. So I came into their classroom and shared briefly on that subject. And we went off and began to pray for one another. And many of them got very powerfully set free from bitterness in their life. And then something happened that kind of surprised me. We got together in the main room, and all of a sudden they broke out in spontaneous dancing. This is a Persian culture, so the Persian music went on, and everybody formed a circle and started dancing and celebrating. And that celebration went on for 35 minutes. But it just highlighted to me that there are people in the world, in this case, former Muslims, who've never had the chance to hear what you and I have heard, and have never discovered the pearl of great price because no one's ever shared it with them before. And when they first experience that freedom or that forgiveness or that coming to know God, they're overwhelmed by joy. One of the students, I'm going to call Khalid, it's not his real name, but he was also a refugee. He came along for the dinner that I was having with the school leader. And as we were sitting down to eat our food, he began to tell me the story of how he was tortured by an extreme political party that was against the gospel and Christianity, and how he had suffered for Christ. And would I pray for him? Because he wanted to be set free from a root of bitterness towards those who had tortured him. And his attitude was so wonderful. And there in that restaurant, he surrendered that bitterness over to God. And I realized that not only are these people kept away from the gospel and not able to hear what you and I hear so easily in the Western world, but they oftentimes pay a great price for following Jesus Christ. But it was all worth it for Khalid because he had discovered the pearl of great price, the treasure hidden in the field. It was totally worth it to him because he knew Jesus Christ. And that encouraged me so much as I was able to see how Holy Spirit was working in that part of the world. These people needed that training, and even more importantly, the unreached peoples of that part of the world desperately need to hear the gospel.